My friends, by the time you see this video, Donald Trump will have been sworn in as the 47th President of the United States of America. Now, at this point, he hasn't been yet. He will be soon, but he's not been yet. But we're going to talk about all the executive orders that Trump was to sign and what they're going to do, how they're going to impact us, and all that good stuff. First off, let's just talk about the executive orders, man. Let's talk about the fact that Obama opened this can of worms. I mean, the Democrats have always done this, where they screw up something in government, they make it so that they get their way one time, right? They get to do something really dumb one time, and then because they've set a precedent, they screw themselves in the end, and Republicans do it, and then they get all upset about it, right? We saw it with the filibuster in the Senate. They ended that. Now there's no more filibuster, really. And they get all upset, all up in arms over the fact that there's no filibuster, over the fact that they're governing by a simple majority, but they did it. It's their fault. Then, we've got the executive orders where they're all like, oh, Trump's going to sign more executive orders in one day than any president has ever signed in 1 year. And whose fault is that? First off, it's Obama. He started it. Whenever he lost the majority in Congress, he said he was going to rule by phone and pen, which, executive orders, right? And then Biden took it a step farther, signing hundreds of executive orders, thousands really, and they're all terrible, mind you. And now Trump, on his first day, most of his executive orders are just going to be reversing what Biden did. I mean, this is something where most of the executive orders are just to try and fix the mess that Biden left Trump. Because, most of these executive orders are dog shit, but also they have to be done because Biden screwed everything up. And it wasn't Biden. It was in his administration because Biden wasn't the president. Kamala might have been the president. Might have been some other random cabinet members, but it wasn't Biden who was doing any of that. Either way, let's get into this from NPR. All the day one executive actions Trump has announced so far. So, there's a bunch of garbage about this. President Trump is expected to sign a flurry of executive orders, memorandums, and proclamations on Monday after he's sworn in, reversing many of his predecessors' policies and reinstating actions from his first term in office. The actions are expected to address a range of issues, including campaign priorities like border security and culture war issues like DEI policies. If Trump signs as many executive orders as he's been telegraphing, he could sign more on day one than any other president has signed in 1 year, a record that sits at 100 set in 1952 by former President Harry Truman. Here's what we know so far. Immigration. Trump is expected to declare a national emergency at the U.S. southern border, designate criminal cartels as terror groups, and end birthright citizenship for children born to immigrant parents without legal status, according to incoming officials from the Trump White House. Trump will also reinstate the Remain in Mexico policy, which would require some asylum seekers at the U.S. southern border to wait in Mexico for their hearings in the U.S. Immigration Court, the officials said. The moves are some of 10 sweeping executive actions on border security that incoming officials say Trump plans to sign on Monday. First off, let's just talk about how wonderful that is to hear. Just think about that, right? Remain in Mexico. It rolls off the tongue so well, man. It's something where there's a lot of stuff that needs to be fixed there. But the fact that on day one, we're going to start having something that makes life better is just so nice. And this is not me sucking Trump's dick. This is none of that shit, right? Trump is an okay president. He's always been an okay president. Not compared to Biden, he's the best damn president ever. But in my opinion, last time, there were some great things he did. There were some shitty things he did. And hopefully this time is better, but for now, he's the okayest president, in my opinion. I just really enjoy what he's doing. This is just really good. Remain in Mexico, no more birthright citizenship. That means no more anchor babies. There's no more issue about splitting up families. Tom Homan had a great, response for when the Democrats asked, "Oh, what about splitting up families?" He said they can go together. And now, going forward, obviously there's going to be a lot of legal challenges on this, but there won't be any more anchor babies. Assuming that this does make it to the Supreme Court, which of course it will, and assuming that the Supreme Court rules with Trump, which they probably will, then the 14th Amendment will no longer apply to birthright citizenship, which basically means we're going to be like 95% of other countries where the only way you're a citizen is if your family, your parents, at least one of them is a citizen. Now, they don't both have to be like Japan or the UK or anything like that. They don't both have to be citizens, but one of them does, right? The same thing with the US should be the case, where at least one of your parents has to be an American. Otherwise, you're not a citizen. Have fun being back in whatever shithole country you come from. So, the 10 executive actions. Declare a national emergency at the border, which it is a national emergency. It is an invasion, and anyone who tries to tell me otherwise is a moron. Clarify the military's role in border security. This order directs the military to prioritize our borders and protect territorial integrity by repelling forms of invasion, including unlawful mass migration, narcotics trafficking, human smuggling and trafficking, and other criminal activities, the officials said, which is good because the military, I don't love using the military in the U.S., but we do need someone to actually do something at the border because it is just open season down there. It's wild. End catch and release, continue building the wall, and end remain in Mexico. Pretty sure they mean reinstate remain in Mexico, but whatever. Which is good because we need to stop catch and release. We need to catch them and ship them out. And obviously the wall needs to be built. I mean, yes, the wall is important. That's probably least of my worries because there's a lot of different ways we could do it. I mean, they could even just send drones down there, patrol for people constantly, and just catch them. I mean, you don't need a physical barrier anymore. I think that it's probably useful to make it harder because, you know, if you're risking your life to get to this country and you also know you're just going to be shipped back anyway, you won't come. So if you make it easy by not even having a wall, they might still come. If you put the wall up in strategic locations, make them have to cross the Rio Grande, make them have to cross the mountains or whatever, make it really dangerous, along with the fact that they're going to be shipped back to Mexico anyway, they probably won't even come. I mean, that's what we saw last time, and hopefully that's what we see again this time. Designate criminal cartels as terrorists, which is phenomenal. This will allow the U.S. to more easily remove members of groups like Tren de Aragua, a transnational criminal organization from Venezuela, and MS-13, because they are terrorists. They rule by force and fear. That's what they do in Mexico, because Mexico has a government. The cartels are still in charge. No matter what the government says, the cartels are in charge, man. Suspend refugee resettlement. The officials said the U.S. would suspend refugee resettlement for at least 4 months, which is good. We have way too many damn illegals and way too many damn immigrants here in the first place. We need to pause. We need to just have a minute to, collect ourselves. Have a minute to get rid of the illegals, figure out what the hell's going on in our own country, and then we can bring back the refugees. Because there's nothing wrong with being a good person. There's nothing wrong with being nice. Just give us a minute. End asylum and close the border to those without legal status via proclamation, which is perfect. This is amazing. And here's why, right? Mexicans, Venezuelans, whoever's coming through the border, right? They're all being coached to say, asylum, asylum, right? And then because of that, they're given a safe berth because, you've got to go through the court process. You've got to go through and do the whole asylum claim process and that whole deal. And that takes years because they have so many cases and so few judges. And we all know that most of them are not coming for asylum. Now there probably are a few, but most of them are coming for economic reasons. They're just being told, claim asylum because you won't be shipped out until after you have your court date if you show up for it. And now, with this executive order, asylum is no more. America is no safe haven for criminals. America is no safe haven for illegals. And this is phenomenal. This is a really, really good thing because we will finally be able to do something about immigrants and they won't be able to say, oh, asylum, I'm here for asylum. They won't be able to stop us from getting rid of them by saying those magic words because those magic words don't work anymore, man. In birthright citizenship, we talked about that. That's phenomenal. Hope that really does happen. Enhanced vetting and screening. Officials said they were going to enhance vetting and screening of illegal aliens. Why? Just kick them out anyway. Throw them all out. It doesn't matter. I don't care if they're criminals or not. Get rid of them. Protect American citizens against invasion, which is good because we are currently being invaded. Restore the death penalty. The one thing I don't agree with because I don't trust the government to do it right. Because with the death penalty, you got to be absolutely fucking certain, 100% certain that what you're doing is correct. We need standards above what we have, right? So currently the standards for criminal courts are beyond reasonable doubt, and with that you can implement whatever penalties, including the death penalty, right? Now obviously they have a really long appeals process for the death penalty to make sure they get it right. But if you're going to do the death penalty, which I don't think the government can do it right, then you need to have it beyond a fucking shadow of a doubt. There can be no shadow of a doubt that this person did it. Otherwise, no death penalty. But that's not how they do it, so this is one I'm not for. This one's bad. This one I disagree with because the government doesn't do it right. There have been enough people that have been exonerated after being killed, 4%, that's too many people. One person is too many people. Because like Ben Franklin said, and I agree with entirely, it is better that 100 guilty persons go free than one innocent person suffer. Especially when that suffering can't be undone. Because death is permanent. Once you kill someone, they're done. That's it. So I don't trust it. It's not good enough. Defining sex and ending DEI programs. Trump will sign an executive order on Monday that says it's the policy of the United States to recognize two biologically distinct sexes because there are only two, male and female. An incoming White House official told reporters on a preview conference call on Monday. These are sexes that are not changeable, and they are grounded in fundamental and incontrovertible reality, the official said. The change will require government agencies to use the definitions on documents like passports, visas, and employee records, the official said. Taxpayer funds will not be allowed to be used for transition services, the official said. Thank the Lord. A second order will end diversity, equity, and inclusion programs in the federal government, the official said, giving as examples environmental justice programs in the U.S. Department of Agriculture, as well as diversity training. Also, phenomenal. National energy emergency and electric vehicle mandate. Trump intends to declare a national energy emergency on Monday, because there is one, aiming to cut red tape and regulations for the energy industry, and a second one specific to Alaskan resources, an incoming White House official told reporters on a preview conference call. That national energy emergency will unlock a variety of different authorities that will enable our nation to quickly build again, to produce coal and natural resources, to create jobs, to create prosperity, and to strengthen our nation's national security, the official said. The official said the energy prices are too high, but declined on the call to name a lower target price. Well, because the target price is whatever. Get it as low as you can go. It's a limbo, man. That's what you do. You got to limbo with those prices. As low as you go. How low can you go? The order will end what incoming Trump officials call the electric vehicle mandate and will end efforts to curtail consumer choice on the things that consumers use every single day, whether it be shower heads, whether it be gas stoves, whether it be dishwashers, and like the official said, which is good because we should be allowed to have whatever the hell we want. You should not be able to tell me that I'm not being energy efficient, so I can't have it. That's fucking stupid. Trump has long railed against energy efficiency standards on the campaign trail and specifically taken aim at electric vehicle mandates, a term he uses to encompass all policies designed to encourage and transition to battery-powered cars. Rules actually requiring 100% of vehicles to be electric do not exist on the federal level. Well, I don't care. They exist on the state level and it's stupid. Shut up. Inflation. Trump will sign a presidential memorandum on inflation Monday, an official from the incoming administration said. The official did not provide additional details. This one I don't understand. I don't know what Trump can actually do about inflation beyond pressuring people and beyond being as accommodative as possible. Beyond that, inflation is just going to inflate, man. It's just the way it is. Biden fucked us all, and we're just going to keep living with it for the next probably 3 years. We might be okay in the fourth one, but for the 3, we're probably going to be fucked. Either way, guys, that's what I've got to say about this one. Next segment's coming up later today. Make sure to smash that like button and subscribe. Comment down below. Tell me what you think about all these executive orders. Tell me what you think about any of them. If you've got any strong thoughts, let me know. We'll see you in the next one. Catch you then.